All right, says we're live. I guess with a lot of interesting developments right now in the world of American auto sports, mainly with well, two things going on. One with the chase for the cup, and two, the final race at Sonoma, in which I think there's around five guys who have a mathematical shot of winning it, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I'll just start with the chase first. Last year, like we did this like once a week. That's obviously not going to happen because I just don't want to do that. Um,
Yeah,
maybe
that
just
was too much to review every
yeah,
time. It was like 30 minutes just covering the previous race
yeah.
in
Why
the
don't we
first
just
couple of
do
rounds.
like I said? Let's just wait until the end of this round and then
Yeah,
do
yeah,
by
only
round.
doing 4 reviews
And
is
like the
fine.
races just weren't that interesting. That was the thing.
Yeah, I can't actually remember half of the races from last year. I can't even remember who won or like who was on the pole, and I'm usually really good about that.
Yeah.
So
But so I'm just gonna go over the drivers, just kind of give some commentary on what to expect. So I'll just start off like from the the 16 drivers, and then start from who's in 16th on to first place. So
yeah,
starting at the bottom, unsurprisingly, is Jamie McMurray, who has obviously who's failed to make it even past the round of 16 for both 2015 and 2016. And in the case of 2016, it was in a very heartbreaking fashion where his engine went out at Dover. Anything could he finally get it past at least into the round of 12, or is that even? Do you think that's just too much to expect?
um, yeah, no, I think he can outrun at least 4 people for 3 races because there are some pretty weak contenders
Oh yeah,
in the round of 16.
Kane, Dylan, probably
Newman,
Newman and Stenhouse. Yeah,
yeah,
it's probably one of his better chances.
like none of those guys have been fast all season. I mean, Stenhouse has had like occasional bursts at some short tracks, but otherwise he's like a 15th place car. Same
Besides
thing
the
with the RCR guys. I mean,
yeah,
Newman won on tire strategy and Dylan won on fuel, like
Stenhouse won on track. Sorry,
on
on
plate tracks, right?
plate
But
tracks, and Kane just won off of pit strategy.
Kane won because like everyone else wrecked. I mean,
Well,
half
yeah,
the
but
field wrecked that
but
race and pit strategy.
yeah, wreck and then pit strategy.
I mean, virtually everyone that had a fast car that day wrecked,
That's what made it fun.
if you say so.
I thought that was one of the fun. It's one of
It
the more
was
memorable.
stupid. I mean, it was
It was
fun in a
stupid,
stupid
but
way because
it
I was
was
just
still
laughing at like how it was hilarious to watch the leaders wreck for like 5 consecutive restarts.
yep.
But anyway,
Never put Trevor Bain in the cat and bird seat.
or any kind of seat really. He needs to be replaced by I don't know Chris Buescher or somebody. Although I don't know if Roush is any better than what is it
It is like
JTG.
yeah.
I
It's
don't know if
crazy.
they're actually a better team.
Roush used to be a five-man team. Now they're a two-man team, and even that's uncertain at this point. Whether
Yeah, they
how
used to
long
win races like consistently. They used to be title contenders, and now they're like one of the worst teams.
Trevor Bain happened. That's it.
I don't know. They never rebounded after 2014.
Especially after Edwards left. I think Edwards is really the only thing holding that team together.
Yeah, him and Biffle.
Oh, Biffle was
They were
struggling
both.
at
Yeah, but I mean, they were both actually proven winners. And they, replaced them with Trevor Bain. I don't know. But anyway,
it's hard to understand the logic sometimes, but yeah, it's what it is.
it's all sponsorship money, basically,
Yep.
which still doesn't make sense really, but
But I'm even looking at I mean Jamie McMurray. I mean, even though he had that last place finish at Dover last fall, I mean he's a good Dover driver. Like he got fourth, I think, at that 2015 fall race against when he lost that one spot to Dale Jr. He got
Hmm.
seventh place at Dover in the spring race this year.
Yeah, it's one of his best tracks. I remember. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we're just talking about speed, I think he'll be okay because he runs well enough to at least beat those four guys. But he also has no cushion to speak of. So if he has any bad luck, then he could very likely be eliminated. So,
All right, I guess I'll move up to 15th. The man whose very future is uncertain, and this could probably be his only chance to at least secure himself a ride for 2018. Matt Kenseth.
yeah.
I mean, it was a very slow start at the beginning. I think I'm looking at his results from earlier in the year. He got last place at the Daytona 500. Had that horrific crash at California. He's only been doing good really since the summer started.
Yeah.
He's kept getting consistent top tens, top
Yeah,
fives.
he does. He is Mr. Consistency. That's how he won his championship. I think I'm pretty confident he'll advance through the first round. He's got some really good. He's good at Dover and he's good at New Hampshire.
Yeah, but I can't really imagine him getting past the second round though.
Yeah, he is. He's going to need to win something eventually.
But he's won at a lot of those tracks. Chicago.
Yeah, he's won. He's won at all three of them in the first one. Although I don't think he's won Dover since he was at Roush.
Nope. Hell, I think if I wanted to use the has he ever? I don't think he's ever won at Talladega though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he has. It's 2012. And there was that 100 car pile up on the last lap. And Gordon got second.
Has he ever won at Martinsville?
No.
Yeah, that's where it might fall. Well, that's assuming he even makes it past through the.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make it that far, but yeah. I think he might be.
He probably needs to win. I think he needs to win one race at least.
Make it through the first round, possibly the second, but I don't see him farther than that.
All right, and then 14th is someone who I don't think is going to make it, Casey Kane, only in off of some bullshit win at the Brickyard.
Yeah, I mean the only way he's going to advance is basically if the first three races are just like the Brickyard, where just all the fast cars wreck themselves on restarts, and then suddenly he's like in the he's up next to Trevor Bayne on the front row because that team has not had speed anywhere all season long.
He only has two other top five finishes. One of them was at Talladega, so that doesn't really count. I think his only genuine top five finish was at Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, and Atlanta's too different, really. It doesn't have enough similarities with any of the track because of the tire wear. So, yeah, I don't see him making it through the first round. And also, I don't know where he's going to be next year. I thought maybe Chip Ganassi might get a third car, but I doubt
They're getting a third car. It's going to be Ryan Blaney in the 12.
No, Chip Ganassi, not Penske.
What am I saying? Yeah.
Or I don't know. It's hard to say because I can't think of any good teams that would take him.
I might have to Greg Biffle it.
Yeah, I don't know. He might just not race. I mean, he's talked about that in the past, of just retiring if he's uncompetitive for so long. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can at least walk out in the spot, in the in the sunset, knowing that he won a Brickyard 400. It was a bullshit Brickyard 400, but a Brickyard 400 nonetheless. Which is essentially lost all its prestige since that bullshit 2008 race.
Yeah. It's just gotten increasingly worse over the years. Except 2014, but, clear extenuating circumstances.
All right, 13th, Austin Dillon again, just in on one bullshit win when Jimmy Johnson runs out of fuel in at the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah.
Looking again, he only just very much like Casey Kane, only two other top five finishes. Once at Martinsville, which is one of the tracks he actually does well at, and the second one at Darlington just recently.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had speed very, occasionally. Most of the time he's like 15th or 20th. But occasionally he will be like a top 10 car
But
consistently.
I don't. I mean, it was kind of a miracle he made it to the second round last time because he had a good run at Dover. When
Yeah, well, it's because other people had bad luck, but
yeah, I can't really imagine.
yeah, I mean the way it's set up now with the with all those stage points, like
It's gonna be a lot.
he's all the way at the bottom. He's 2 points ahead of McMurray, who is at the very bottom. And there are several drivers that are like a good 30 points clear of him almost, or 20 points clear of him at least. So I don't see him making it. I mean, yeah, he really has nothing going for him, honestly. Like, he doesn't have a lot of points. He doesn't have speed. He's not really even that good at these tracks, the first three. So,
But then again,
yeah.
there was like he did good also. Like he almost made it to the third round as well. He lost that tiebreaker to Hamlin.
Yeah.
At Talladega. I mean, like I said, maybe
Yeah, I mean, the way
might,
NASCAR operates now, it's like your running position doesn't matter for the first 95% of the race because there's going to be a late race caution, if not several, and that's going to shuffle the running order so much that you could run 20th all day and suddenly get a top 5 just because of being in the right lane on the right restart.
Yep. All right. So now we finally get to the top 12. Kurt Busch will start off in 12th. I mean, look, yeah, he got his Daytona 500 win. I think that'll be the last major accomplishment of his career. It might even be the last win of his career at this point. I mean, he's gotten his last 3 races have been impressive.
Yeah,
3
he actually
straight top
has
fives.
He's run a lot better.
He's been improving, but come on. The transition to Ford has not really been all that great for Stewart Haas Racing. Let's just face it.
Yeah, I don't know. Granted, Darlington and Richmond are not. They bear like no similarities to any of the chase tracks, really. So running well there doesn't indicate success at any other place. And he, like you said, he really hasn't been fast anywhere other than the last 3 weeks. And you're going to need more than just being, quick occasionally. You're going to have to be fast every week. So, and also, same thing as Austin Dillon. He's only got 2 points over last place. So I mean, he's really going to have to claw for those because he's tied in points with 4 of the drivers.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's going to be in a very, very close fight straight out of the gate. He's not going to be gifted anything. He's not going to have any kind of cushion. So he's going to have to be pretty quick because, one of those 4 of the drivers, or 5 if you count McMurray, I mean, they're going to be fast at least one of those weeks, I'm guessing. If not, maybe even all 3. So I don't know. I don't see him making it past the second round. I'll say that.
Yeah, the same way. He's made it past the first round the last 2 years, so I can give him that. He made it to the third round in 2015. Did he make it to the third round last year? I can't remember.
I don't remember. He may have.
Yeah, but the only reason he made it, I think he did. But I can actually just look that up right now because I'm on Wikipedia right now. But remember, like the reason he made it to the third round was because of all the bullshit that happened in the second round, where you had guys like Keselowski and Truex Jr., blowing their engines at Talladega or crashing at Kansas.
Yep. Yeah, well, there's always going to be a story like that now with this format.
Yes, Kurt Busch made it to the third round last year. Oh, all right. Starting in 11th will be let me just look it up. Ryan Newman, another guy who I do not think will make it past the first round. I know people might be hoping for a 2014 like story. That's not happening. I'll just say it right now. Oh, I'll just wait for him to get back in. Uh,
I don't know.
that's
Recently had a new hard drive installed.
it's
This
fine.
must be missing some kind of plugin somewhere.
Uh, I'm on Ryan Newman right now. I basically before I think you well you went out. I was like, yeah, like it's. I don't think he's gonna make it past the first round. And if people are counting on a 2014 like story to happen again, it's just not gonna happen. I'll say it
Yeah,
right
I
here, right
mean
now.
Newman is only in the chase because of Stenhouse forgetting where the brake pedal was on a restart and knocking Larson out of the way. Because otherwise he would not have won that, and he has not had the speed to win anywhere else all year.
To cut him a break, like he's better than Dylan and Kane
Yeah,
because
he is, but
he has I think he has five top. Sorry, I think he has six top fives, including that win.
yeah. No, he's more consistent and he's much better at dealing with slower equipment, and it's not a fluke that he pulls these finishes out of his ass because he does it every year. He finished like what, third at Richmond?
Yeah, but then again, that was because everybody got shuffled up. They
Yeah.
started.
Yeah,
They
but I
made
mean he does this like regularly. I mean,
yeah.
so you gotta consider, I'm not saying he's gonna make it that far. I mean, I don't see him making it past the second round. Um,
I don't even see him making it past the first.
yeah, he may not. He's okay at Loudon, but not. I don't think he's that good at Chicago or Dover.
All right, gonna go to for the 10th place. The guy I guess I'll root for again, begrudgingly, Chase Elliott. And I must say that I was expecting some great improvements this year that from last year that has not come to fruition at
Yeah,
all. It's
yeah,
just the same. It's the same thing. He's hot at the beginning of the year in the spring races, and then he goes through the midsummer slump.
yeah. Well, Hendrick as an organization has been pretty slow because you have Jimmy with 3 wins that were not necessarily on speed. Like Jimmy has not. I mean, if just look at stage points. Stage points are a really good indicator of
Oh yeah,
speed,
Jimmy
and
Johnson,
Jimmy has like
one
what?
stage win. Chase Elliott, I think, only has three. He has two of them.
Yeah. They just don't run up front. None of the Hendrick cars do. So I don't know. I mean, they had a much better season last year. Even ignoring Jimmy winning the title, because Chase, was still really strong at a lot of tracks. Whereas this year, I mean, it's like Michigan. Um, is the only time he's been pretty quick that I can think
Yeah,
of.
but I think he'll make it to the. I think he'll be like last year, second round, not making it further, making it any further.
Yeah, I mean, he was quicker last year than he is this year.
He did good. Like I mean, he probably would have made it to the third round if it wasn't for bullshit. Like Kyle Busch
I
taking
think
him
it was
out.
Austin Dillon wrecking him at
Yeah, no, but I was more into.
Charlotte.
No, Kyle Busch was one who spun him
Yeah,
out.
I can't remember how that happened. I remember he was like on the front row, and then
Yep.
A bunch of people wrecked.
I think he was in the second row, but he was running
Okay.
up front for the most part. And then he had and then he actually had a good day. He was having a good car at Kansas, had a flat tire, got back on the league lap and was catching up with the field, then had another flat tire.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see him having that great of a chase, I guess, because I think he's got the talent to progress. It's just that organization is too slow right now. I mean, like you don't suddenly start running top 5 after you've run 10th or 15th. I mean, he hasn't been running that bad.
Well, he did that at Chicagoland last year.
Yeah. Well, but he was a lot quicker last year. I think he was a lot more consistent too.
I mean, it seems like Chicagoland might be a track he runs well at. I don't see why.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Jimmy did run really well too at Chicago, so I think it was just.
Well, that was the thing. Our conclusion last year was that I think Hendrick is just testing other chassis around, but then once it comes to crunch time in the chase, they'll get their heads together and they'll.
Yeah, I mean
that's another possibility.
That's what most teams do. Even then they're very far behind the 8 ball that even if they bring better stuff, everyone else is going to bring better stuff.
And then this time, like all the other drivers, like Truex and Larson, actually have the points advantage. So that's something.
Yeah, I don't know. I see Elliott possibly making the 3rd round if he gets some luck. I think he'll pretty easily make the 2nd round.
He's going to need to pull some top 5 finishes out of his ass if he wants to make that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you never know. Like people are going to have mechanical failures and wrecks and stuff, and I mean, you can count on that. You just don't know who it's going to be.
All right. In 9th, someone who I thought was dropping off the radar. I'm only starting, and then I realized, oh yeah, he won at Pocono. Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, he was fast at the beginning of the season.
He had two.
The first,
he won
third.
The first and second stage at the Texas race.
Yeah, and then I think Kansas also. He was pretty quick.
He got lucky to get that one win at Pocono, but that was his last top 5 finish. He's only got.
I was about to say he's really dropped off since then.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. Considering the team he's on, I don't really think they're going to be very strong in the chase anyway. So I don't know. I think he'll probably make the 1st round. But
only because you get the advantage of having to go up against the Stenhouses and the Kings.
Right. I mean, he'll definitely be quicker than them. But progressing farther than that's going to be tough because it is a fairly competitive field after that. After those bottom 4 or 5 drivers, you've got a lot of good cars. So,
yeah. All right. Starting 8th, and it's amazing still. I still can't believe this guy has 2 wins this year. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's going to make it past the 1st round, but I can conceive of him making it through to the 3rd round. He'll just have to get really lucky with some kind of late stage caution at 2 of the 3 opening tracks where he's able to shuffle his way up to the front. So and then he squeaks by into the 2nd round. He does, and then he'll just win at Talladega to get into the 3rd round.
I don't think he's gonna win Talladega, but
I know. I'm just saying that's if there's any way he can make it to the 3rd round, I think that's his only possibility.
Yeah, he's got a pretty steep climb ahead of him.
Oh yeah,
because he doesn't run well at any of these places. Even Talladega, I mean, it's he's got 1 win, and congratulations for that. But it is Talladega.
To cut him a break though, when he won at Daytona, he at least showed that his Talladega win wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, but even then, Daytona, I mean, who did he have to fight for the win? Michael McDowell, and who else was it? I mean, most of the good cars wrecked out of that, and I know that happens, but it's not it's just if he was a good plate racer, I think you would have seen it long before now. So he had a good car. I'm not trying to take too much away from him, but I don't really have that much confidence in him at a plate track, even despite 2 wins.
Yeah, and his only other top 5 finishes were at Phoenix and Richmond, the spring Richmond race.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That could be another thing too. If he's already good at Phoenix, then he wins at Phoenix, makes it into Homestead, and then the other 3 cars wreck or blow their engines, and there you have it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. becomes champion.
It might happen.
I think Brian France would probably commit suicide right after that.
Now, Brian France would love it. He'd be like, "That's quintessential NASCAR. That's what NASCAR's about: giving a 30th place car a championship or 20th place car."
No, but it'll eventually happen because then he's going to lose. Eventually, I think NASCAR will completely collapse on itself. There will be no fan base at all.
I mean,
it's already crumbling. I think
it's going to get to the point where like you're either going to have a completely bullshit championship winner, or they're going to have to rig the race so much so to avoid that happening. And either way, it's going to look stupid.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to have like somebody like Stenhouse in 9th place leading at home, being the front runner at Homestead, and they're just going to like keep throwing debris cautions until somebody else passes them. Because I don't know, this format there's nothing in this format to prevent that. It's already happened several times. I mean, there's one guy that just runs 10th all year long and then makes it to Homestead. So
in the case last year, that guy actually won it.
Yeah, he won it despite having the slowest car of all the 4 drivers. But whatever. That's how it works now.
All right. Up next is Denny Hamlin, who only up until recently, like I really wasn't. I didn't think much of him, but he unlike most drivers who have the midsummer slump, he's actually been hot from the summer and the early fall.
Yeah, he did it last year too. Last year he won the 500, and then he didn't win again until Watkins Glen, I think, and then he won Richmond. But he really didn't run well in the chase, as far as I remember.
Only barely made it to the 3rd round.
Yeah,
in a tiebreaker with Austin Dillon, no less.
Yeah, so I don't know. He hasn't had that kind of speed. I mean, I think speed is going to win out ultimately. I mean, like the guys who have been top 5 all year long are going to be top 5 most of the chase races.
I think it's possible for him to get to Homestead. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
yeah, he did it the first year.
Yeah, it's possible. Just waiting around. Yes, the path doesn't seem as difficult this year for him as it was last year. I think he will. Although ultimately, I think he would have to win one of those 3 races in the 3rd round. And I think he could. I mean, he's won at those tracks before. He's won at Texas. He's won at Martinsville. He hasn't won there in a while, but. Jimmy Johnson hadn't won at Charlotte in a while, but he was able to pull that off.
So. Yeah, I don't know. Just Hamlin doesn't strike me as that kind of driver. I mean, he made it. The reason he made Homestead in 2014 was the same reason Ryan Newman made it, basically. I mean, he won Talladega, and that was it. Won Talladega in the spring, and then just avoided trouble for the rest of the season. So I don't know. I don't see him doing that again.
But Homestead is one of his better tracks. He's won there twice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had the best car of the chase guys in 2014. It's just the wrong tire strategy.
Yep.
He would have been the champion that year if it wasn't for one caution.
When speaking of Homestead, I'm pretty sure the track might be partway underwater right now as a result of the hurricane.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to look, but I've been wondering about that, and I don't know if it's affected Daytona at all.
I mean, eventually. I mean, we have 2 months to clean it up. It's not like it's gonna affect the race. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully the grandstands haven't been blown out and wrecked, and there's
they're like sharks swimming around in the infield.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So who is next?
Kevin Harvick, who, I don't know. I mean, he was better at the beginning. He's been struggling a little bit in the summer. Maybe he had a couple of good runs, like he had a second place at Pocono and a fifth at New Hampshire. He might be the big surprise, and that's actually my upset pick. Like I think he's gonna make it to Homestead. I think that's like my big upset that I'm gonna make right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, statistically, he's probably the best in this format, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he is pretty damn good at all the tracks they go to in the chase.
I think he could win at. I wouldn't be surprised if he won at Loudon again.
Yeah, maybe.
Then just kind of capitalized on there. Maybe probably he won at Kansas last year. I don't even think he has to win a race. He can just
Yeah, he could definitely point his way through. He's consistent enough.
and then of course he'll probably have a shot at Phoenix again. I mean, I know he hasn't been as great at Phoenix on the last couple of races. He hasn't won there. I mean, he won there in 2016 in the spring race. It really
Yeah.
hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
I mean, just barely missed it last year, making it to Homestead last year. So
Yep.
he's been a little. I mean, it's been a little hard with the transition from Chevy to Ford at Stewart Haas, but I think if there's any driver who can mend through all those problems, I think it's him.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Jimmy Johnson is number 5, and I can't see it happening this year. I know last year. I mean, last year he won with bullshit. Like that was like literally the only way you can explain how he made it to not only how he made it to Homestead, but how he won it. It's just pure bullshit.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying about Chase Elliott, like last year Hendrick was a lot quicker than they are this year, even in the summer
Yep.
and in the spring. I mean, he ran top 5 to top 10 most of the year. He was like, I don't know, ninth in points then. Like this year, he's just, he won Bristol, which Bristol is a track position kind of track, so you don't really even need speed to win there. And then Texas, that was sort of just late race kind of strategy that got him that. And then, Dover was, let's not talk about it, but
Bullshit.
yeah, and it's just, yeah, he got a good restart. I mean, that's it.
But like for the most part of that Dover race, he was running like on the edge of the top 10.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. For the most part of all of those wins, he was slow. And I think Richmond, they said, was like his first top 10 in 7 races.
I'm looking at it right now. Yep. But now, to be fair, that's because he crashed at Pocono in Indy.
Yeah, but I mean, still, and then 5 races.
He got 19th at Michigan, 11th at Bristol, 12th at Darlington. That's not going to pull it out, those.
Yeah, like last year, he was really fast at Michigan, pretty quick at Indy. He had speed. Even through his notorious summer slump, he was still like easily a top 10 car.
Top 5.
Yeah, but not this year. So I don't see it. But who knows?
One stage win. And it was at Sonoma of all places.
Yeah. So I don't see them. Even if they find speed, I mean that only puts them at like 10th.
Yeah.
That's not going to put him in the top 3.
What was it? Yeah, I think he can make it to the 3rd round, but that's really it.
Yeah. I'd love it if it was like 2015. Again, he gets eliminated in the first
Oh,
round.
God,
That'd be.
Well, I love that so much. I think I like to make I think he'll win Dover. I think he's got one more win in him this season, but
I don't know. I doubt it.
I would prefer not. I just really would hate to see him surpass Jeff Gordon on the all-times win list, and
I think he probably will.
It's probably inevitable, but
he's like what 10 away or something.
But I want to delay the inevitable,
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, who knows? Maybe this Hendrick slump might just last forever.
Yeah, they might be like Roush or RCR. They just suddenly.
I mean, this is
after being dominant.
This is such a radically different team from 3 years ago.
Yeah. They kind of suck now.
Like it's going to be a team dominated by young kids. Like what?
Yeah, I don't see.
I really don't understand Alex Bowman driving the 88. I mean, he had a couple of good runs, but like I mean, that's such a small sample size, you know? Like,
Well, who else are they going to pick? Because they were already going to pick William Byron for Casey Kane.
yeah, honestly, like they couldn't have just gone to some other drivers who were going to be leaving their teams. I mean, why not go for Matt Kenseth? Like, at least try to lure him in.
Yeah, but Kim's too old. I
Give
mean, he's
him
going to
one or two.
retire. He's going to retire in like 3 years,
Yeah,
if
go
not sooner.
give him 2 3 years in the 88 car. I don't see what was wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they wanted somebody they could have for a while because Bowman might not have been available in 3 years. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not really the best pick. I agree. Although he ran well at Phoenix, and that was kind of it. But who knows? He might surprise us. Be like the Tom Brady of NASCAR. Just
That'd be
somebody gives him a
horrible.
big chance, and then he suddenly becomes amazing, which is basically what Jimmy Johnson did. Because he
Yeah.
never did anything in the Busch series, really. And then it's just like him and Chad Knaus magically connected, and one of the best combinations in NASCAR history. So,
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to the next one, which is Brad Keselowski in fourth. Honestly, I think I'm not sure how many times I've said guys would make it to the third round. I'm not sure if this guy can even make it. I mean, I know he's starting in fourth, but I think he's so prone to disappointing us in the postseason that
yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised if he just missed it out on the third round. You know?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to revert back to his like 2014 mentality of like race everyone like a jackass and get punched after the race. Because he did that specifically because he said he wasn't aggressive enough in 2013, and he hasn't been that aggressive
Very aggressive.
recently, and it's
Yeah.
not paying off for him. So he might just say, you know what, I'm just going to start wrecking people again. But yeah, I don't know. He has
There's
been a little bit quicker recently.
no top 10 finishes in the last 5 races.
Yeah, but he's run. I mean, Richmond, he was like running fourth on the last restart.
And
I
then
think
just
Kurt Busch just like shoved him out of the way. But like, he's got the speed to carry him pretty far. I think he's been maybe with the exception of Larson, he's sort of been the fastest non-Toyota all season. Maybe not in terms of wins, obviously, but in terms of just like he's got a fair number of stage wins. Comparison to like everyone else around him. So,
all right, then we'll move up to and I'll say I think the top three right now will be with Kevin Harvick at Homestead, Kyle Busch, who I think will make it to Homestead again, and unlike 2015, I think this would actually, I think he could win it. Unlike 2015, I think he could actually if he were to win in 2017, he could take pride in this one because he raced the whole season and he was consistently good throughout the whole year.
yeah, but I don't know when the guy who's been consistent the whole year has never won the championship under this title or under this format.
Oh yeah,
The points leader has never done it, so I don't.
Well, he's not the
Any
points leader.
reason why that's
That's what makes it great. Like he's not the point. He's consistent, but he's not the points leader. So
who Truex?
No, I'm talking about Kyle Busch.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Truex.
No,
Oh,
Kyle Busch.
okay, yeah, I see.
That's what I was saying. Like I made the
No,
point.
I don't see Kyle Busch doing it this year. I think 2015 was kind of pretty lucky. Yeah, I don't know. I think if Kyle Busch has like one bad race, he's just gonna unravel and choke away all of his championship hopes, which is what he usually does. So I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Hopefully he'll crash in one race in the first round, and then it'll just cause him to crumple in the next race.
He'll like freak out and get 10 speeding penalties at Dover. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Kyle Busch is definitely someone I want to see him just miss the first round, miss the second round, which would be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I want to see the meltdown. But
hey, we saw it at Las Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Punching his former teammate, man. That was something. To be fair, Joey Logano probably
Yeah, I was
deserved.
about to say, who doesn't want to punch Joey Logano? You can't fault him for that.
All right, second place, and probably will. I'm almost certain will make it past the first round. In fact, I think he can make it to Homestead, and I think as he will have a shot at Homestead. Kyle Larson, who I mean, I think what he proved on Saturday night with his win at Richmond, he's not just a 2 mile track guy.
Yep. Well, he's run up front everywhere, and he did choke away a couple of wins early in the season, but
Choked away at Atlanta, lost. He could have had a shot at Las Vegas. Definitely choked.
he didn't choke in Las Vegas. I mean,
Okay,
he didn't have a shot at winning that one. It was a lucky
uh,
second. He did sort of choke Phoenix, but that was
and
also
Dover,
Stenhouse.
and
Stenhouse
Dover.
just Dover was all on him, and then Homestead last year. Although I'm pretty sure Homestead was just NASCAR giving Jimmy free restart, but yeah, but I don't know. I'm hoping he's kind of over that because his last 2 wins have come when he did not have the fastest car at all.
He has 11 finishes of second or better.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, this is definitely 2017 Kyle Larson is definitely different from 2016 Kyle Larson.
Yeah. I mean, his after he won Michigan in 2016, he actually did run really, really well. He just had a couple of problems at Dover and Chicago. He was fast, but yeah, he's faster this season than he ever has been.
I look forward to him crashing out and then having his battery go down at these. Yeah.
Don't say that. I don't even know if I want to watch the chase races because I know, something like that always hangs in the balance, and I don't want to be watching when it happens. It's gonna break my heart.
Yeah, all right. And at this time, I think he's not only going to make it. I think this is my pick, obviously, to win it. It's like I think it's most people's pick. I'll go with Truex to win it all. I can't see the momentum being broken down.
Well, yeah. So I'll say what I said when I thought you were talking about him. I mean, the points leader never wins it. Like this format does not reward. Because I mean, I don't know. I don't know how, honestly, you can pick anybody to win at Homestead because it's like Homestead has been a shit show every year. And it's just been a jumble of cautions late in the race that puts anybody up front. So,
Yeah, but now Truex has got the luck. That used to always fuck him over, but now he's actually the one who fucks people over by winning races that way.
well, not if you count Darlington and Richmond, but or Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I could if I were to count Kansas or.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely going to run well. There's no doubt about that. But the chase always behaves differently than the regular season in a much dumber way. It's like if you have a tame regular season race, then the chase equivalent is going to be a nightmare. They're going to be 100 they're going to break the record for cautions at like every one of these tracks probably because they always seem to. I don't know.
Half the field wrecked out at Homestead the way it was.
I mean, like, would you have predicted Indianapolis to turn out the way it did?
No way.
Like, I could easily see something like that happening at a chase race. So, I don't know.
There'll be 12 cars running by the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it comes down to Homestead, I would still pick Larson over Truex because I think Larson is better at that track than he is. He's proven that he doesn't even need the best car to like run up front there. And like Truex really hasn't even run up front at Homestead. He's just consistent, but he's not like leading laps all the time. So, but I mean, like who fucking knows? Like I hate so much.
I also want to mention, as a result of only 12 cars running, we will probably see Matt DiBenedetto with a second or third place finish.
Yeah, probably.
And then Cole Whitman with a fourth or fifth place finish.
Yeah. Probably at New Hampshire or Talladega. New Hampshire is always sort of the wild card. of the non-Talladega races.
Hey, Brian Scott got a second place finish at Talladega last year.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's nice to remember the fact that it's nice to know that he's no longer in the sport.
And hopefully Danica won't be after the season either. Because I don't know that they've renewed her contract.
At least she'll have Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. You think she might do an IndyCar gig? Maybe race in the 500, maybe, or do it one.
Maybe the 500, but I don't know.
Yeah, do it one. Pablo Montoya is probably going to do just run at
Montoya was good.
500, and that's it.
Montoya was actually good, though. That's why people gave him rides. Like Danica was terrible. But I don't know. I think after this, she's going to like turn to just like broadcasting or some kind of media outlet. Like have her own little sports talk show or whatever on
Jesus Christ
on Fox.
I will
She'll be one of the analysts. I really do not want to see her in the booth, though.
You know how we feel so bad for the pit crew who has to work for her? Yeah. I would feel so bad for the producers who would have to work for her if she ever had her, if she did broadcasting. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Well, I don't want her to be a broadcaster because she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she has like no insight, and her personality is completely vapid. She has commented on a couple of races before, and like every time you could tell, they're like, "So Danica, what's it like to like run top 5?" And she's like, "Well, and I'm like, you don't know what it's like to run up front. You don't know what it's like to like, hold the lead on a restart. I mean, she knows what it's like to run 30th with a 5th place car." That's mostly why I don't want to see her in the booth. It's like she has no real experience. I mean, Jeff Burton, has won plenty of races. He almost had a championship in like 2008 or 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so does Darrell Waltrip, even though he's like senile. But once upon a time, he was a damn good driver. Even like Wally Dallenbach was like, he was pretty decent. He never had a great car or a great team, but he still ran pretty well. And at least like I kind of like Wally Dallenbach because he was kind of funny. But like, how are you going to have a driver that has never won a race, never had a top 5 in NASCAR? How are you going to have somebody like that in the booth? That's an injustice.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, fucking like Michael McDowell has more top 5s than her. He's more qualified.
And the difference is with McDowell, when you give him a top 5 car, he can actually do something with it. Like,
yeah, I mean, he at least runs around 5th or 10th at least. He doesn't run 30th.
Oh, he won the Mid-Ohio race in Xfinity last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, and he had a top 5 at Daytona, I thought, in the spring or the summer. I mean.
Oh, that's not really.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had the opportunity and he seized on it. Like he did the same thing in 2014, where it's like everyone crashed out and he had a shot to finish top 5, and I think he finished 6th.
He finished 4th at the Daytona night race.
Yeah. So I mean, give him credit. Like, it's not like he's got the car to run up there when everyone else is in the race. So he does what he can, and or I don't know. Just I hope Danica's done because I'm tired of
the bullshit. Man.
Yeah, it makes no sense to have somebody run 30th when their teammates are winning championships in the same car.
And I keep saying it, that whole Kyle Petty interview, like where he went after Danica, it is aging very well.
Yeah, I mean, like Richard Petty saying she'll never win a race. Like, he was right. She's never going to win a race.
I mean, Kyle Petty, I think we've complained about him, really, just the way he's such an apologist for like bullshit NASCAR officiating.
Yeah.
You know what? He gets it right sometimes. He's on the money sometimes. And I think that was the time where not only was he on the money, but he was saying it when everybody else was too scared to say it.
Yeah, he was not popular for saying it. But.
I know. And he took such a hit on his reputation. Everybody went after him.
Yeah, which is just fucking dumb. I have to say, like, I'm so thankful that social justice has not reared its ugly head in NASCAR.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like, I think it's like the one safe space I have from the kind of bullshit. Because then it's gonna be like, why isn't Bubba Wallace, winning championships? It's obviously discrimination. Why isn't Danica have nine championships? It's just
Well, they
you
were
don't have to put up with that ever.
they did overdo it when Daniel Suarez won the championship in the Xfinity last year. They're like, oh my God, the Mexican American, like I think he was actually a native-born Mexican. Like,
Yeah.
his one, it's like, okay, like I don't care, like where he comes from. It's just cool that he won the race. Like, I don't see why. Like,
Well, I don't even care like that. I mean, that's fine for them to applaud, somebody from a different country winning because he actually won. It's like they're applauding Danica for being a woman. She's never won anything. She's never, well, I mean, in NASCAR.
you want
She's
to
never had a top, yeah, she's never had a top five. So, like, if she started winning, I wouldn't be hating on her if she ever ran well and was deserving of her ride. I wouldn't have any problem with it at all. But she has yet to demonstrate that.
Oh shit! That's my microphone. Sorry. All right, I'll just make a quick over to the Sonoma race.
To Scott Dixon's clutch performance that's incoming to get him another championship.
Shades of 2015.
Right. He was better in 2015 than he was this year, too.
And he's only got 3 points. I mean, oof, man, that was like the worst thing that could have happened to Joseph Newgarden in that.
Yeah. Yeah, what a fuck up.
Like, how do you fuck that up, too?
Yeah, leaving pit road. I'll take it, man.
Who crashed into him, like, after he hit the wall? Bourdais. Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Sonoma's double points, too. So, basically, Dixon just has to finish in front of Newgarden.
That's it, yeah. I don't, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's assuming, like, he has to finish in front of Newgarden somewhere in the top 10, anyway.
Well, no, but
they can't run like 20th and then Castro Neves win it because I think
it's only 3 points though. Like, I don't see it's
right, but I'm saying like even Castro Neves could win it, and if they run 15th and 16th, Castro Neves might have the title. I don't know what the scenarios are, but yeah, I mean, you have to be impressed with the fact that like Dixon is hanging in there the way he is with an uncompetitive car all season. I mean, Honda has been, with the exception of Indy, they've been behind the curve. Maybe Pocono. But everywhere else, like, they've been pretty far off for him to be only 3 points out of the title with one race left.
Dixon would have such a huge advantage if it wasn't for that bullshit Indy crash where he almost died.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Stuff like that happens to everybody. Newgarden and Castro Neves have all had their bullshit incidents to take them out of or at least to hurt them. So I don't know though. I don't think he'll have the speed to win Sonoma, the way he did in 2015. But then again, I didn't think he had the speed to win Road America of all places, and somehow he did that.
So this is the season finale. It's the same point standings as the Indy 500, right? Or it's the same point system as Indy, where you get double the points.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I've not looked at the title clinching scenarios.
I'll just go through points as they are. And by the way, I still can't believe Castro Neves is. Oh, wow, he's only 22 points behind. I mean, like, this has not been that impressive of a season for Castro Neves. Like, the only reason he's made it this far is because he had he's only had 3 podium finishes, but one of them just happened to be a second place finish at Indy.
Yeah.
But he's had several. He's finished 4th place 4 times this year. Got a lucky win at Iowa. And then he's just been lucky that everybody else has been sucking. Like Will Power has had what 4 DNFs,
Yeah.
which is oh, and by the way, like as crazy as it might seem, Will Power actually has a shot at winning this thing. I mean, it's going to be a very he's down by 68 points. He would need everybody else to really fuck up, but you know.
Yeah, I see it coming down to Newgarden and Dixon, really. I don't see, because Castroneves historically chokes at the end of the season, like every fucking year. I say that like I'm displeased. Actually, it's hilarious that it happens, but so I don't really see him doing anything because he's given away championships in like the past 3 races so many times before. I think it's just going to become, I don't know. It might even just be as depressing as like who qualifies out front, because that's how IndyCar is now. It's like if you qualify on the pole, you're sort of set for the race.
I'm going to have a little fun here. If I really want to talk about who has a mathematical shot at winning, technically Alexander Rossi has a mathematical shot of winning it, but, you know, come on, let's be realistic. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, I think it's going to be, because the deficit from Dixon to anybody else is 20 points, just about 19 points to Castroneves, and then another 12 back to Pagenaud. I mean, like, it's for them to win the title, Dixon and Newgarden are going to have some misfortune, and they're going to have to win. Sort of, because I mean, I don't know. They're probably not going to wreck out.
In the case of Castroneves, it's not that far-fetched if you're down by only 22 points. I mean, if by some mirror, if Castroneves wins it and, if Joseph Newgarden finishes third, then Castroneves has essentially won it. I mean, that's assuming Scott Dixon doesn't get second. Actually, no, it wouldn't matter. If Castroneves got first, Dixon got second, Newgarden got third, Castroneves wins the championship.
Really? It's that
he would win it by 1 point over Scott Dixon.
Wow.
You get 100 points for winning, and you get 80 points for finishing second. So that would yeah. So don't, like I said, do not. I'm not willing to fully count out Castroneves.
I didn't think it was that dramatic. Because I couldn't remember how the points work for IndyCar.
No, but by that standard, I mean, why not Simon Pagenaud either? I mean, he's been struggling at road courses. That's this year. That's why I won't give it to him. But I mean, okay, maybe saying struggling at road courses isn't the best way to say it. But I mean, when you're not getting the podium finishes you need. That's not really a good sign. But I mean, hold on. So Pagenaud was down by 34 points, which, wow, that actually means that if Pagenaud were to win it, the only way for him to get in front of Newgarden would be, he would. So if he finishes first, Newgarden finishes fourth, and then assuming Dixon and Castroneves are not in front of Newgarden, then Pagenaud wins it. So I mean, again, still unlikely for Pagenaud, but like I said, not a total count off.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than I thought. Then
I'll say this: there's 6 drivers who have a mathematical shot at winning it, but there's only 4 drivers who have a realistic shot at winning it. Oh, and wouldn't you know, 3 of them are from Penske, which I think is probably your only reason for really cheering hard for Dixon, because fuck Penske, right?
Well, I mean, Dixon is my guy, but yeah, I mean, Penske is had quite the advantage this season. I mean, they're always good, but this season, they're kind of untouchable, really. And they qualify first through fourth almost every race.
Yeah, why not? It's Dixon. I mean, as much as I don't like Dixon, at least he would be the one to put the stop. He would definitely be the
upset
one to take on the Penske monopoly, really.
Yeah.
Well, but to me, though, just because Castroneves has always been an underdog on the championship standings, and he's definitely a big underdog for this one. I don't know why. I'm gonna root for Castroneves.
Well, it's because you have no soul.
I don't really care what you think.
Kashnev is going to choke. He always does.
That's the whole point. Like, why not this time? Why not towards the end of his career? I think he's 42 years old right now.
Because he sucks.
But that's the whole point. Like well, he has 3 Indy 500s and a shitload of other individual wins, but never the championship. So
what was it like?
Why not be the great story where you struggle throughout your entire career and you can never get it until finally towards the end of the rainbow you finally get that championship. That's a good story.
Yeah, well, like I don't know. I don't see it.
I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I'll say like I don't think it's gonna happen, but damn it, I want it to happen.
Well,
and it's not as far fetched as, like I said, all he would have to do is all he has to do is finish first while Newgarden finishes third, and there's other scenarios too that play into it.
Yeah, it's probably just gonna come down to qualifying then, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, it's just how it is.
That's how IndyCar is right now. It's like nobody can pass anyone unless there's a caution right in the the middle of the race, which is definitely plausible.
All right. I think I've said all I've needed to say. I think you feel the same.
Yep.
All right, just gonna take it off here, and I'll see how this all goes.
Yep.